Hello again. I'm gonna start off by saying if you like any of the stuff I'm putting out, just like it, share it, give me some feedback. I forget to do that kind of stuff, so we'll go ahead and get it out of the way. What I'm here to show you today is that's my boat. So I don't mean to offend anybody with that. That was just a really horrible Forrest Gump impression. And as you see, the boat, as well as a lot of my other stuff, has a severe case of flat surface syndrome, which I'm gonna try to address right now. All right, that's a little better, a little. If anybody's wondering, I've only had this boat, let's see, 6, 7 years, 8 years. I'm not sure when I actually got it. I'm now married with a 4-year-old, 2-year-old stepkids, and I was single when I bought this boat, and it still hasn't seen water. It was actually my great uncle's boat. I bought it from his son. I've been on this boat before, so it wasn't exactly sight unseen. I knew where it was. I knew where it had been stored. I just didn't do a very thorough examination of what might be wrong with it. And I just remembered they always washed it and flushed it and everything before they stuck it back in the building. I didn't anticipate some of the stuff I found, and I'll show some photos of that because I had no intention of videoing any of this whenever I first started working on it. But you know, she needs a good bath right now and a cleaning out. But deck was soft in several places, mostly under the console and splash under the seat, and had to rip all that out, fix it, refiberglass it, and then instead of recarpeting it, I went with I think it was Evercoat or something, some kind of boat. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but the textured paint stuff looks a whole lot better, I think, than the carpet did. But it wasn't the only thing that was an issue. Before I started doing all that work, I fired this engine up just to make sure it would fire and run a little bit, but it'd been sitting for so long. I guess probably hadn't seen water in 20 years. But we got to work on the motor here. Put a new thermostat in it, new spark plugs. We busted off the lower unit and put in a water pump, fresh oil, and had to have this here piece fabricated and welded on. So it got knocked off on an oyster bed or something. When I first got it over here, this was the first thing I worked on. This steering connector rod was stuck, so I had to take the linkage off, and it was stuck further in here. Pulled this nut off. I believe I stuck like a water bottle that was like half full of PB Blaster and just slid it over the whole thing, just let it sit there for, I don't know, a month or more. Finally got over here and beat the piss out of this with a brick hammer, I think, until I got it all shoved through. So then I had to clean that up with a file where I had damaged it, hitting it with a brick hammer. You know, that's probably not the professional thing to do. But anyway, it worked. Got it back together and greased up, and it's still working. And the motor, when we went to change the thermostat, all this stuff had to come off. So you can look here and count 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts that broke off and had to be drilled out and tapped to a bigger size before we could put it all back on. And let's see, I believe on the bottom side there's at least one Yep. I think we had to replace 2 bolts that held the lower unit on. But she runs now. Matter of fact, we were testing her out, we were realizing that the linkage was off because it would rev up before it went into reverse. It would rev up and cause the gear to grind before it actually went into gear. But I had a guy come over and he actually showed me how to set it back to neutral. And that's kind of where we ended things last year as far as working on it. We also had to take the shifter mechanism off there and open it up because the tilt trim was broke. But I had these consoles in the seat, everything was up. I finally put that back down last year. And what I need to do to get this ready to see the water is pay the licensing fee, and B, I got to secure that battery and fix the wiring up a little bit better than it is, or a lot of bit better. And the boat paddle will probably stay in here because I'm not sure how confident I am in my work. But I'm excited and nervous to get this thing put back to running. Hopefully do some fishing in the spring here. If anybody's interested to seeing the maiden voyage of this particular boat, keep following. It'll happen eventually. And I told you how long it took me to get this far, so I wouldn't be in a hurry. I have a good one.